discuss what it all means at the end. Welcome to the Salty Podcast. I'm glad you're here. Because if you weren't here, I would be an idiot talking to myself in my room. But I've got an audience now. We can be idiots together. Once upon a time, there was a young man and he was ready to move out and get on with his life. He was aspiring to start his own path. Took his inheritance and he went out into the world. Kind of scary, kind of exciting. This young man soon realizes that he's not the greatest decision maker of all time, and he becomes pretty poor pretty fast. He's unemployed with no plans. That's never a good thing. I was actually once told women like men that have a plan for their life. But back to the story. And so he has no idea what to do at this point. But he's heard of this professor that lives nearby, and everyone who he knows has gone to this professor for advice, and this professor has led all of them in the right direction. So he said, I have no idea what to do right now. I've got to go ask this guy for some advice, for some help of some kind. He finally goes to this guy. It took some courage. It takes courage to be able to tell someone, hey, I am destitute, I am poor, I've got nothing going for me right now, please help me, you're my only hope. It takes courage, so he finally musters up the courage. He goes to talk to this professor. This professor's not a very impressive looking man, but he's wise according to so many people. And we'll just call him my friend. My friend goes to this professor and he says, I need help. You're my only hope. What do I do with my life? I've got nothing going for me right now. I'm hopeless. Professor takes him into a room and it's kind of circular, filled with books and nothing else. Books and a chair. Man says, wait here. Young man says, okay. Takes a seat, picks up one of the more interesting looking books and starts to read. A couple hours later he realizes, wait a second, the professor never came back. Tries to, get up, go to the door, maybe search around for this professor. The door is locked. There are no windows. So he gets kind of worried. Starts pounding on the door. A couple hours later, he can't take this anymore. This has got to be a prank. Professor keeps him in there for 2 days. At the end of this 2 days, this young man hasn't had any food or any water. He's curled up on the chair, sometimes on the floor, and he's just waited. Multiple times he thought it was his time. He thought, well, this professor's insane, I can't break out of here. I've tried everything, I'm going to die here. Professor comes in after 2 days. And he said, "What did you want in here?" I locked you in here with this room full of books, full of knowledge. And all you cared about was what I had to say. The point of the story is when we see successful people and they all seem to be doing the same thing, following in their footsteps is not necessarily the greatest option. Basically what I'm trying to get at to you guys here is you need to, in life, be very careful about where you take inspiration from, because guess what? Humans are imperfect. You know why we're imperfect? Because we have the power of choice. We have the power of free moral agency. I just wanted to give you guys a quick reminder as you're going throughout your life. Be very careful with who you go to for advice, because while they may seem happy and successful on the outside, they could be very unhappy on the inside. Don't take things at face value, and never be too sure. You guys are amazing, and I just wanted to give you that quick story. I hope you enjoyed it. This has been the Salty Podcast. Stay strong, everybody.